Remember when electric cars first came out? We were told they'd be very cheap to take care of, easy to fix, and you could swap out the batteries. Everyone was pumped about this new idea. But as time went on, things didn't turn out like we thought. In fact, new issues keep popping up all the time. Now, electric cars are so bad that they are going straight for the junkyard. Why is this happening? Let's figure it out by checking out the 5 reasons why electric cars are ending up as scrap metal. At number 5, lack of trained professionals driving up repair costs. One of the biggest promises that electric vehicle makers have been giving us so far is that EVs would have low running costs. According to them, electric vehicles are simpler than internal combustion cars and therefore easier and cheaper to fix. They also claim that EVs are expected to be more reliable. However, this hasn't been the case so far. All in all, the short experience we have had with electric vehicles has taught us that electric cars are not like that at all. Instead, they are significantly more expensive to repair than IC cars. There are several reasons for this, and the first thing that comes to mind is the lack of trained professionals who can fix them. Pretty much every market in the world lacks mechanics who are trained to work on electric cars. In many countries, this shortage is becoming a serious issue. For example, in the United Kingdom, only about 10% of all mechanics are licensed to work on battery electric cars. This means that there are very few professionals who know how to repair and maintain these vehicles. As the number of electric vehicles on the market continues to rise, this problem is getting bigger and more noticeable. According to some sources, the United Kingdom will be short of 35,000 trained professionals once internal combustion cars are banned in 2035. This shortage of skilled mechanics is a significant concern for the future of electric vehicles and their maintenance. We're talking about the basic principle of demand and supply, so it was quite expected to see repair prices driving up because of the constant lack of workforce. So, if you're an EV owner, the first challenge is to find a skilled mechanic who is licensed to work on electric vehicles. But even if you find one, you won't feel any relief because when you compare the average repair prices of IC cars and electric vehicles, you'll see nothing but a drastic difference. When we talk about high repair expenses, experts like to point out various things that contribute to these costs. First of all, there is the complexity of the technology used in electric cars. Unlike traditional cars, electric cars come with intricate electrical systems. These include batteries, inverters, and motors, which are all very complex and sophisticated. Then there is the fact that repairing electric vehicles raises significant safety concerns. The high voltage systems in these cars pose a risk of electric shock, which can be very dangerous for anyone working on them. Because of these high voltage systems, special training and equipment are required to ensure that repairs can be carried out safely. This has caused the price of EV repairs to skyrocket. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this video, do well to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to show your support. If you've done that, let's continue. At number 4, EVs are hard to fix, and it's not just about mechanics. We already mentioned that repair costs are very high for EVs because of very few mechanics. But this is not the only reason for this high cost. There are several other factors. One of the major reasons is that electric cars require constant software upgrades. These updates are necessary for the systems that control various crucial components of the vehicle, such as batteries, motors, regenerative braking systems, and driver assist features. Keeping these systems updated is essential for the car to function properly and safely. These software updates often require visits to the dealership. This is because many of these updates are complex and need professional handling to remove software bugs and ensure everything works smoothly. For the professionals at the dealerships, this can be quite a headache, as they often have to wait for feedback and support from the car manufacturers. Moreover, this situation is likely to become even more costly once the warranties on these vehicles expire. After the warranty period, the car owners will have to pay out of pocket for these necessary updates and any associated repairs. This means that the long-term maintenance and repair costs for electric vehicles could be significantly higher than initially expected. Also, electric cars have complicated, closely connected parts. Even a small issue can cause big trouble. For instance, the battery management system works with the powertrain to keep energy moving, talks to the onboard computer, and manages other tasks based on information from sensors and other systems. Making sure all these parts work well together has been tough for lots of electric vehicle companies. This has led to big problems, like the ones Chevy Blazer EV owners have experienced. Number 3, collisions usually lead to write-offs. Electric cars may have fewer parts than their internal combustion counterparts, but that doesn't necessarily make them easier or cheaper to fix. In fact, this can sometimes be a disadvantage. Collisions are probably the best example to illustrate this point. Even small accidents can cause huge problems for electric cars, especially when it comes to the battery and its housing. In traditional IC cars, minor collisions might result in dents or broken parts that are relatively straightforward to repair. However, with electric cars, even a tiny defect in the battery or its housing can lead to serious safety concerns. Because of these safety concerns, what might seem like a minor issue often requires a complete replacement of the battery, which is very expensive. This happens because the parts are so connected and sensitive that a partial fix might not be safe or work well. Additionally, even small crashes can really damage important electronic parts in the car. These parts include the battery, inverters, and different control units. When these important parts get damaged, usually the only choice is to replace them. Fixing them often is not possible because they're so complicated and could be dangerous. Another big problem is that there aren't enough spare parts for electric cars. Unlike regular cars, where spare parts are easy to find, electric cars often don't have enough. This makes fixing them even harder and more costly. So, the cost of repairs is just one part of the problem. The need to replace entire parts, the complicated technology, and the lack of spare parts all make it harder and more expensive to take care of electric cars. But that's not all. These fixes often take weeks, not just costing a lot, but also taking a long time and causing lots of problems. Insurance companies know about these problems, so instead of spending lots of money fixing them, they decide to write off the cars. Even a small crash that hurts the battery or other important parts will be seen as a total loss. This starts a chain reaction, making insurance costs go up for electric cars. Number 2, damaged Teslas instantly become commodity cars. Given all the problems we talked about, it's no wonder that lots of broken Teslas become regular junk cars. Lee Carter from Scrap Life Lee shared a video of a huge junkyard full of damaged Teslas, many with just a little damage. Usually with regular cars, those small damages would be fixed in a few days for a fair price, and owners could keep using their cars like nothing happened. But with Teslas, it's a whole different story. Because fixing them is so expensive, there aren't enough spare parts, and Tesla doesn't give much help. Lots of owners choose to sell their cars for scrap. What's also worth noting is that no one wants to buy these broken EVs and repair them, so they become regular vehicles for scrap. There's not much hope even for using them as regular vehicles, which means in about 5 to 10 years, we might see used EVs like used iPhones or other electronics. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Number 1, EVs are not reliable. If electric vehicles were dependable, expensive repairs wouldn't be such a big deal. In theory, they should be reliable because they have fewer parts than regular cars. But this technology is still new and needs lots of time, maybe even decades, to get better. Recent surveys, like the one from Consumer Reports, show that electric cars have more issues than gas-powered ones. The survey looks at over 330,000 cars made from 2000 to 2024, and it found that electric cars have 80% more problems than gasoline cars. The most common complaints are about electric motors and charging parts, showing how complicated electric vehicles are. Electric cars are new, and traditional car companies have struggled with reliability, unlike Tesla, which is about average among all car makers. Along with battery and important part issues, EV owners also deal with infrastructure problems like public chargers breaking often. This makes people think EVs aren't worth fixing, slowing down their popularity. However, hybrids, especially self-charging ones from Toyota and Honda, are very reliable and have fewer problems than gas or electric cars. Hybrids are growing faster than electric cars, making up over 9% of that market now, surpassing electric cars and still with an impressive growth. Alright, we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and let us know your thoughts in the comment section. And we'll see you in the next video.